Hi guys, and welcome to the first live stream of 2021. Hope everyone had a nice Christmas and a New Year, and is refreshed for the next lockdown. For it, obviously, I'm here with Matt and Howard today. So I'm going to talk to you about what happened last year, where we're at the moment, and what we think is going to happen for the year to come. And then we're going to round off with a sort of live virtual viewing conducted by Howard for one of the new properties that he's got going live today on Aysgarth Avenue in Fulwood. So let's get cracking, guys. So I'm guessing that you guys had a good Christmas, New Year, and you're ready to get back and to it, I suppose.
Ready to get to it. Full of food and maybe some glasses of wine. But overall, I think we had the best Christmas we could here with the family and everything. Under the circumstances, I'm sure Howard was the same. And let's face it, guys, as I've been saying to everybody, hopefully it's only for 1 year. That's all it's for.
Yeah, I think
That it was like that.
It was a very strange, unreal Christmas. It wasn't really, Like New Year's was the worst. It's just gone green now, Kevin. That's what I'm saying. It was like New Year's Eve was so quiet. Many people spoke to him. It said the first time on January the 1st, we've woken up fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just think
You obviously weren't then.
I was one of them. Yeah, I was one of them. I always wake up fresh as a daisy. So, but yeah, it was very strange, wasn't it? But as soon as it's come, it's gone again, and before we know it, it's the first time, is it? But it's still,
Not great. No.
A lot of people, it's just weighing on the thoughts and so forth. But I think everyone's just going to carry on as good as they are. The good news is that they've got the vaccine, haven't they? They started to roll out. In fact, my mother went to her jab yesterday. I think mine's in a couple of weeks. That.
Yeah, they're going down in age brackets, aren't they? So you'll be soon, mate.
Yeah, but honestly, that's good news. So yeah, I mean, they've haven't they? They've put the furlough out to the end of April. So I think that gives a bit of an indication as to where we're going to go. However, as we know, but not everyone else knows out there, that the property market is it's still going.
If you look at last year, there's been a lot of. It was a crap year, wasn't it, for a lot of people and what was going on with everything, but it was actually quite a good year in terms of the housing market. When you look at the numbers, it was a phenomenal year despite us being closed for 2 months completely, where nothing really happened. So it was a really good. If you sold your house, there's been loads of interest. I think some people probably made more money on the house than what, as we know, unbelievable, weren't they? If you look at the sort of October, November, December, there's buyers out there was going to carry on, don't we think, into this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we here at Lancaster, we've seen a kind of an immediate restart for viewing levels. Don't get me wrong. I've been out pretty much most of the day today, and I have been most days all week on viewings. And I'm sure Kerry, who's in the office, so the demand is still there to buy. The demand is there to buy.
Yeah, very much so. I think we're experiencing that area in Preston as well. Like I was saying that yesterday, and hopefully you can hear me a bit better now, guys. I couldn't hear me before. But yeah, the demand for viewings hasn't gone down. It's a smaller audience that.
Do you know what I think though, chaps? I think the thing is, as you rightly said at the start, I'm going to start calling the L word now because of lockdown and the amount of times you hear it. I think obviously we would know as agents, and some people do know, obviously if they read the government guidelines, etc., and also the detailed bits in the news. However, I think a lot of the things are, people will be under the assumption of that estate agents can't continue as normal, that we're doing everything virtually and we couldn't actually attend viewings. However, following the government guidelines, wearing the correct PPE and cracking open a couple of windows, we can obviously go in and do viewings on properties and valuations. Don't get me wrong, we can still operate by virtual means because we've sold a couple of properties via the virtual tool, which we've been banging on about for months now. But we are here, we are open, and we are continuing work, and we are busy, as we're saying. And I think that's one message that we need to get out there. And anybody who is watching, we are still here, cracking on with business.
Yeah, I think that the market is very much open, isn't it, for business?
Yeah.
Very much able to view properties, very much able to buy properties, very much able to move, and everything like that. For it, you're right there, Matt. You know, there's a lot of guidelines in place that we need to do if we're entering people's houses, which, you know, we and other agents, I'm sure, will follow. But a lot can be done virtually. You know, so if you in lockdown and you know you aren't wanting to come out and necessarily enter other people's houses or want people necessarily coming to your house, you know, virtual 60 tours that we've got, and you know the amount of people viewing them is unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, you are right. We were sitting there, someone's playing a guitar there, say like 7:30, 8:30 at night, and we're getting an alert to say so and so. Mr. Robinson, for example, is looking at a property on Aysgarth Avenue or something such as that, and which is good because it enables us then, if we see it, we can actually jump on, interact, speak to that person, we can ask questions, they can ask questions, we can do our best to answer them, and it's just fantastic. And I think people, they've got that time, haven't they, when they're at home and they've had something to eat and maybe the kids are going on the Xbox or whatever they're doing, they can go online and view these properties that maybe, you know, they might not physically want to go down to someone's house, but they can still view your property. Well, both offices, you know, we've mentioned it before, I'm pretty sure, that we've sold properties by that means without anyone crossing the foot over the threshold, you know, into the house. So it's a strong way, and people out there don't have that, you know, maybe speak to your estate agent and see if it's something that they can sort out and enable for your property, because you don't want to miss out on this good times. I said before, Matthew laughed, and I said what we should do is to coin the phrase, make hay while the sun shines, not that it is shining, but, you know, do it now, you know.
It was a client who in and just seeing what other agents were saying, and, you know, can we come out and value, etc. And they're at the top of Lancaster, obviously, I'm not going to say the agent, not going to say the address. And they said, we just kept, you know, the property was added in September or October, either the end of September or start of October. The premium listing said new listing. So there you go. It's saying new listing, however, it's still on now, you know, 3 months later. So technically it's not a new listing. You should change that, you know, premium listing. But also, it didn't have a virtual tour or a video tour. It had nothing. It had the pictures, that was it. It didn't even have a picture montage of the videos. Sorry, the video of the picture montage. And I was gobsmacked, absolutely gobsmacked. And I just said to them, I said, I think this is your main problem. And rightly so, you said before, you know, the amount of people that won't travel at the moment because of the restrictions to move to our area. And he's happy as Larry with it. He's offered and he's buying it. Well, that's how good they are. And I was honest with that client. I said, you've missed out.
Well, the good thing is, with the virtual tours as well, we'll actually showcase one in about 10 minutes' time for anybody who does want to see what they're about for them. But it allows people to view the property at a time, you guys to view the property at the time that suits you. You know, viewings of properties physically or in the past have been quite restrictive in terms of time. You know, you've got to go around at a time when the agent can fit you in. You've got to go time when it's light. I mean, it's already going dark and it's 4 o'clock, so you know you want to see it in the light. The 360 tour will allow you to sit there at whatever time of day you want and view it in the full, in daylight and in full, and almost talk it off your list. You know, you've got a list of 10 properties you want to go around and see. You might be able to whittle that down to 8, just base it, or 6 or even 2, based purely on a virtual tour, and save everyone your time and vendors' time and everything. They are really good, really, really good. And if you've not got them, you're right, Matt. You know, you're missing out certainly on
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that might just be, they might be getting them to go to work, but it's probably something like, you know, they've been, I don't know, I do the same at the moment, especially what's going on. Is you're lying awake 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and people do pick up their phone, their iPad or whatever, and they're messing around with it. And I think that's all activity as well. I think that's probably why we're getting, you know, actual viewing requests on the back of that at 3:30, 2:30 in the morning. It's crazy. But how good is it? You know, you don't even have to. Oh, I'm going to view that house. When did you view it? 2:30 this morning. Yeah, it's spot on. What I want. But it's it's unbelievable. I think it's a great tool that we did do before lockdown. But I think it's a great tool which is really it's showing everyone the advantages of doing it. I just think it's absolutely top draw for you to showcase your house.
Okay, it is. So just chalk off last year. I'll just have a look at the figures for last year and just, before we have a look as what we think it's going to be like as we go through lockdown and then out of it.
Yeah.
Just wanted to talk about the figures for the whole year and just see, show how busy it has been for sales, not actually for properties coming to the market. I'll compare it year on year, and I'll start with LA, Matt. So LA 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So in 2019 there was 3,484 properties came newly onto the market. That was down to 2,849. So market last year, and we were shut for 2 months. Those 2 months would equate for probably 500 units at least. So you would, without them, you'd be very similar year on year. Sales on the other hand, though, there was 2,055 sales in 2019, 2,298 last year. So what's that up? 250 almost higher. So nearly 12% more sales.
Yeah.
And again, we were shut for 2 months. That's how much the
So
demand
showing
is.
whatever comes on sells.
Preston, Howard.
Yeah.
2019. This is PR 1, 2, and 5. 2019 there was 3,688 new properties came on in 2019. In 2020 there was 2,638. 1,050 less properties came to the market last year. So even with those 2 months shut down, obviously the confidence was really, really hit there, and that's 71% of the market happened last year.
Massive, that, isn't it?
Massive. Sales 2,266 in 2019, 2,245. So in 2020, so it's down 1%. But I mean, it's 20 units.
Yeah.
It's near as damn it. And again, we had 2 months closed, so it would have been a really busy year. But that just shows you there's obviously a really, really big confidence issue for people who've got houses to sell, not wanting to sell, not trying that move or something like that they're doing. There's obviously something going on there with that. So from there's obviously loads of buyers around. What do we think of this year? What do we think of 2021? What's going forward on that?
I'll let you go first, Howard. Tell us about Preston, mate.
Well, I think what I alluded to before is the fact that the sales are happening, and eventually, there's going to be virtually out there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he might get an offer. But like his conundrum that he said to me is that, but there's nothing out there for me, and there's nothing coming on the market. He can't find anything coming on the market, and I think that's what it is. What will happen? I don't know. What will happen? I think his confidence will obviously come back, and I think that will happen from news and whatever. I think at the moment we're only a week, not even that, into this new lockdown, and I think still people are just a bit uncertain what's going to happen, which is fully understandable progress. And I think towards the end of the year, fingers crossed, Matthew again alluded to, that hopefully it's going to be the last kind of Christmas we've had like this. Towards the end of the year, and hopefully sooner than that, in the middle of the year, towards the end of the year, I think there'll be a really upturn in the market where I think there'll be a lot of activity going, like we just saw, lads, in the September, October, November, what we've just seen then. I think that plus, more fold again. That's my personal opinion, though. I don't know what you think, Matt.
I'm pretty much the same as you. In all honesty, as I said at the start of this, the levels have been pretty good this week. I have a few valuations in. Don't get me wrong, which is great. It's great to be able to call out some of them. However, like rightly said, there's nowhere near as much activity as Kevin just said with the numbers as what there was last year in regards to valuations. However, I think that's the case of, like I previously said, people don't know that we can continue as normal.
Yeah.
And also, I think there's a fact in there that maybe people, how can I word this? Maybe can't be bothered. Maybe obviously it's depressing, all this news of going into a third lockdown. Maybe they've turned around and gone, do you know what? I was going to sell, but now, hey, what's the point? However, like we rightly said, my advice would be, well, look, at the moment, statistically, there's actually less property coming to the market, which is great, because for you as a vendor, there's a higher chance that you're going to sell for a better asking price and at a quicker time period as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's all swings and roundabouts, and I think for me, this is only the first week into the lockdown, and as every day goes on, I find myself with a busier diary. So I think the news is slowly getting out there, like, look, life does go on, and we need to keep continuing throughout this period.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a bit of people not knowing that the housing market can still continue. I think we've had some conversations speaking to the guys in the office, conversations with, almost surprised that you're open or surprised that you're able to talk to people or do viewings, valuations, whatever it may be. So there's definitely going to be a bit of that. There's going to be a bit of confidence, what's happening with lockdown. What about these vaccines? Although I did hear today that there's a third vaccine that's now being authorised for use within the UK. So they're definitely ramping all that up. So hopefully in the next few months we'll have all that a bit more under control. But you're right, Matt. There's loads of demand out there for buying. Money's still cheap. Base rate's still low. Mortgage rates are still low. Borrowing is pretty good. So there's people out there who definitely want to buy. We just sort of need people really to sort of try and come on the market and just boost those numbers up a little bit, don't we? And I can highlight the need for that. Looking at the first week of this year, I mean, I touched on it briefly before we came on air, but if you look at this week of the year, sort of the way through the, that just highlights the fact of what's happening. Whereas sales are best. Can understand why people are slightly reserved. Best thing to do is speak to an agent, speak to ourselves. We're all here. Matt and Howard are especially around there. They're the best people to speak to, but to tell you what is going on. And hopefully, if you do want to move, we can get you moved. You are still allowed to move.
I think that's the key thing. Yeah, they are allowed to move, and I don't think everyone realises that.
No.
Allowed to move was the last time as well. You couldn't do removals. You couldn't do any of that stuff. Now you could only do it, couldn't you, if it was an empty property you were going into, and so forth. It's slightly different now. It's a lockdown, not as severe as the first, a little bit more severe than the one in between. But life goes on. I think, we've just got to keep plowing through it, keep positive, and keep doing what we want to do.
The outlook for 2021 is positive. I know we're in lockdown at the moment, but it is positive. Certainly, if you're within the housing market and you want to buy or sell a house, there's definitely lots of scope there. And speaking of buying and selling houses, we're going to do a virtual viewing, aren't we, Howard? On a new one.
We're going to do that in a minute. A new property that's going on the market in Fulwood, so we'll go through that and have a little look round, can't we?
Yeah. So do you want to have off and we can leave you to sort of.
I'll hop off.
Tell the good folks about Aysgarth. All right, Matt.
Okay, guys.
Cheers, Matt. Bye. I'm actually just now messaging the vendor just to tell her that she's on actually, because she's just been talking to her now. So, so we're going to share my screen. Is that right, Kev?
Yeah, you share your screen with us, and then you can bring up the virtual tour and. I'll bring it up first, and then share your screen. Then get cracking, mate. I'll hide myself, and then.
Are we live now?
We are live already, mate. Yeah, we're still live. Haven't gone off.
Okay, that's okay. Right, so you've got to bear with me for my technology. I know where I'm going. I've just got to share this page, so I'm just going to look like Reggie Clay for a moment to find out where I'm going. Kevin, you might need to direct me on this one. Share screen. There we go. How's that? Is that right, Kevin, or not?
We can sort of see the screen. Yeah, you're zoomed in on the thing. Yeah.
Can I make that screen? There we go.
Full screen it down the bottom left. There you go.
Tell me when you're ready, Kevin, and I'll go through.
I'll hide myself, and then you can get going, mate. All right.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Right, this property is coming on the market this weekend, possibly this evening. It's Aysgarth in Fulwood. Okay, so for those people who don't know exactly where it is, it's at the back of Shower Green Lane off Broadwood Drive. Where you can see that picture there now, where I'm moving there to the left-hand side of that car, that's actually Booth's car park. That's Booth's in Fulwood, which is literally opposite the Royal Preston Hospital. So, what a great location. You can walk to Booth's, you can walk to the Royal Preston Hospital. There's chemists, there's everything on your doorstep for this property. Oh, incidentally, I'll just go back here as well. You might think because it's near the hospital, people might park outside and so forth, like they used to do, but all the way down here, there's all double yellow lines to stop, yellow lines to stop people doing that. So not only are you not going to get anyone parked in front of your house, you've also got a driveway here for 3 cars. If you notice at the back, you've got your detached garage as well. So driveway for 3 cars, garden, whether you keep it as turf or you, in fact, if you want it to add more off-road parking, easily done. Right, we're into the vestibule, which is through, and there's plenty of space here for your coats and your shoes. And this is where you get your first glimpse, if we have a look through there, off the lounge. And it's a really contemporary finish. So we're in the living area, the lounge here, and I'll sweep you right the way around. Okay, so you've got a feature mirror and a feature board there. So there you go. You've got blinds at the front. It's a really contemporary feel, cozy home, which is very welcoming, which you notice as soon as you walk through the property. Understairs storage cupboard. Now, I'm going to try and zoom in here because we have on your right hand side. I'm so impressed with this, and this is your Nest. Can you see here on the right hand side, just below the staircase? That's your Nest heating control, which means that when you're out and about, when we can get out and about, if you're coming home and you want to make sure that it's nice and cozy for you when you get in, you can set that from your phone. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. You can set your temperature, everything. Right, this kitchen dining room across the back, contemporary, I'd say so. Very, very modern. You've got all your integrated appliances that you would hope for. Okay, it's literally ready to move it. All you need to do is bring your own kettle. That's what you need to do in this property. On the other side here, we've got a kitchen dining room table, which is fantastic for your evening meal, your breakfast, or like this gentleman here, if you're working from home. Notice you've got your upright contemporary radiator at the back. Like I said, it's this house. All you need is your furniture, your kettle, and whatever clothes you want to bring. Right, the garden at the back, it's enclosed. Now, these are actually, it's like a slate grey flagstone, and it's artificial grass, which is fantastic because it's low maintenance. When you get nice weather, you don't have to spend time cutting the lawn. But it's great if you've got children that want to play outside, if you've got animals, it caters for everyone. Secure, a big gate there, which is a secure, and there's your detached garage. So what we're going to do is we're going to nip back inside, and I'm going to take you through, and let's have a look what it's like upstairs. So upstairs to the landing. So at the top of the landing, we have 3 bedrooms, of course. Bedroom 3 being the smallest one to the front, the master bedroom and bedroom 2, and behind me where we're going to start is the bathroom. Bathroom finished in white, modern. You've got I'll just show you there as well. You've got a shower above. It's recently been refurbished. Incidentally, on this as well, I must point out that the sellers of this property have had a new combination boiler fitted just under 12 months ago, which was fantastic. That's a saving exercise for you. Bedroom 3, which is used as a bedroom, but equally could be used as a home office, which leads me into tell you about this loft. There's a loft in this property which has power. It's got light and a velux, and it has been used as a home office previously. So whether you want to store anything up there or you want to go and work up there, you can do. Bedroom 2, which is of a good size. As you can see, we've got a lot of furniture and stuff in there, and children's toys, which you'd expect. So that's looking out over the back. And bedroom 1, which looks out over the front. You've got room for wardrobes, any bedroom furniture you want. Overlooking outside this property, it's all one way. So you come in and you go out one side. So you don't really get a great deal of passing traffic. So this property in Fulwood, walking distance to the hospital, walking distance to booths, and I must tell everyone it's right by the motorway network. Is coming on the market. It's offers in the region of £170,000. So, and for you to learn more about this property, look out on Lancaster Estates website this evening on Rightmove, or messages via Instagram or Facebook for more information, or in effect to book your physical viewing. There are going to be 2 online viewing formats available on the property portal website. So take a look at that and do let me know. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, Howard. It's a good viewing.
That's one thing I'm trying to do.
Right at the top of the screen, mate. If you
unfortunately. It's just minimised itself.
Anyway, yeah, it was good. It was good viewing that. It's a lovely property, isn't it? Really nice spot, good location. Fingers crossed we'll get some interest in that. So that's going live. What, today, tomorrow, next day or so?
Yeah. Can you still see your screen?
You still see your screen, yeah.
And are you on that screen now?
There you go. It's all right. Done it.
There we go. You've done it. Well done.
Done it. You're back
Thank
with
you.
us. So yeah. Your camera's gone off now though. So yeah, you're putting that one live this weekend. Be available for people to have access to this virtual tour. And you've got a video tour as well, I think, Howard, haven't you, on this one as well? So
Yeah.
just to let everyone know, we do require, as per the government's advice, that you view the property virtually before you can set foot in there with the vendor. So you'll have telephone number is 01772 958822, and Howard will from us today, guys.
I've got it again, but never mind. People have had enough of me, I think. So
yeah, we'll leave it at that, mate. So let's say if you've got any questions, if you want to know anything about the housing market, we're always here. Drop a comment on the video on Facebook or on YouTube. If you want to view Aysgarth, Howard is there to sort of help you do that, and watch out for that going live imminently.